That's with his head scarf off, and he'll take it off when he's in town because masks are usually outlawed. Uh, so he's got a little bit of stubble. It's kind of patchy. Uh, he has dirt, especially around his eyes. Brown eyes. Can't really see his hair because he still has his headscarf on it. Um, so he has a leather cloak, linen headscarf, and under all that he's got a black coat of plates that reaches just below the knee, and a tunic right underneath that, uh, leather gloves and boots. He's got a quiver of javelins underneath his cloak coming out the side. He has a very large bardiche. It's way too big for his size. He's like 5'8", maybe 160 pounds. Uh, and a small stone crescent hangs from the blade of the bardiche. Uh, if you knew about Saloon, you probably get that represents that god. Uh, and if he were to see someone, uh, he'd introduce himself with a nod and ask if they need any help with anything. And his clothes are very dirty. There's mud on them and dirt, grass stains, maybe a little moss. But he doesn't smell bad. He smells earthy. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. I don't have any further questions. Pretty well covered it there. Okay, so everybody knows where you're headed. You guys have never been to Red Larch, so I'm not going to be telling you what the numbers mean, and you should be able to, yep, and you can't see what they mean. So, we've got the rest of the party coming into town with a caravan led by Zagim and Zita, of course, holding her guts in. And she's going to be, I forgot to have Artran out there. That's how stealthy he was. Just didn't see him out front there. He comes back and steps out of the forest ahead of you guys and says, the road's clear, they're all the way to town. Let's make haste. And Zagim rubs his hands together in anticipation of finally making it to a town. He's been looking a little itchy on the last day or so. And so,
I know why.
Yep, you know why. And you guys are headed on into town. Zagim has Zeal in tow there. Okay, Zagim. So yeah, he just grabs you by the sleeve there, Zeal, and says, "We are headed for the Swinging Sword. Only for a moment. We're gonna stow
Is that like a gay bar?
He gives you a flat look. And then he slaps. Ah, I get it. And he claps you on the back. He says, no, we're just going to be stowing the cart. That's not innuendo. And then we're going across the street to the Helmet High Sun. It's a little bit more our speed. Come on. And so they take the cart and all that. Zagim doesn't even give you guys a backwards glance. Basically, you guys get here to the crossroads with the cart and all that stuff, and Zagim doesn't even glance at the rest of you, doesn't give you a goodbye, doesn't care. You're in town, he's got no more business with you. So he says that to Zeal. He says, we're headed to the Swinging Sword first, and then to the Helmet High Sun. For the rest of you, our train stops about here on the road. And that's where he'll kind of hold up. Let's see, and that's the rest of you, really. Zita takes Kellen and the others, everybody else, what was it, Ebenezer? And she just continues on to town. She says, she gives a nod to Artran and waves to the other two of you, Leah and Mortrose, and she says, "Safe travels to you all. I hope to see you again on this side of the veil."
Likewise, safe journeys.
And so she takes off.
Lita.
Yep, and that's, yeah. So our train stops about there, and he says, "This is as far into town as I go. I brought you this far." He says to Mortrose, "You will all be able to find safety here, safety and anonymity." He kind of gives you a look up and down, and he says, "I advise you to head for Mother Yolanta's." And he points, he says, "Continue on to the crossroads, and then you're going to head north past both of the taverns, make a right, and it's the last building on your right. It is a low-cost inn and a place where a few questions are asked."
Understood. Is there anything else you want of me? I'm still not exactly sure that I've joined the right place, so to say.
Well, I'm not sure that you've joined, if you know what I mean.
Yes, indeed.
That was never really discussed up till now, but if you show an interest, that might be something that happens. Our trend says to you, Mortrose, he says, "You are combat worthy. I'm sure that you will have no trouble making a profit here. Red Larch has its share of problems that I'm sure you could help solve." He nods towards Leah and he says, "I would say stick with her." And he says to you, Leah, "You will learn nothing from me following me around the wilds. I can teach you nothing about that. You will learn everything you need to know by helping the locals of Red Larch." He says to both of you, "I would offer your services to the constable. His name is Harburg."
Harbreck or Harburg?
Harburg, and I will even get you a last name. Tooth Marilar. He is the butcher's husband, as well as being the constable. And you will find him, of course, at the butchery. And he gives you directions to the butcher, which is, he says you're going to go to the crossroads, you're going to head south, and you're immediately going to make a right. And, well, you can't miss the butchery.
Head right when I get to the crossroads.
Make a right. It's the number 11.
All right.
Just to help you out there.
And despite our differences, I still wish you safe journeys.
He says, "I wish you safe journeys as well." Safer than the ones we've had so far. He kind of glances at both of you, doesn't nod or anything else, and just starts heading back up the path. Let's see.
He slowly turns to Leah.
Go ahead. You can go ahead. I need just a moment to look something up.
She slowly turns to Leah. "So, how long have you known him?"
For as long as you have. But he is a brother from the Brotherhood. But I see that you don't know that.
Well, knowing and experiencing are two different things.
This is where, give me just a second here, if you guys don't mind. I'm try to get this ready as quick as I could. Yeah, that'll be fine. Actually, it might actually make more sense this way.
So what sorts of balance exactly are you trying to uphold, as he spoke of?
You don't know anything about balance?
Well, whose balance
The
are you
universe's balance.
trying? And who decides that exactly? You, Anahwin?
You don't know much, do you? Well, that's
How
what I
many
expect
times I've
from
had
a
to deal with
half-blood.
Yes, yes. I wouldn't expect good manners from you either.
Manners are beside the point.
Mhm. Yeah, with you it sure seems that way.
All right, so you guys, one by one, will trickle into town.
Let's see.
Who was supposed to meet Artran? I know Meld was. Was he the only one?
Are you talking to the new guys?
Yeah. Meld, I think, was the only one who was supposed to talk to Artran, right?
I thought I wanted to clarify
I think
that.
so.